Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Lee M. Rush, Commanding Officer, 1st Tank Battalion, and Staff Sergeant James E. Snow, welcome to today's ceremony where we will honor and retire Staff Sergeant James E. Snow for his 15 years of faithful service to the Corps and our nation. Captain Zuli Pacindo Rubio will be the retiring officer. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for today's invocation given by the Battalion Chaplain, Lieutenant Michael Brown, United States Navy.
Let us pray. We ask for your Spirit to be upon us, Eternal Father, this afternoon, because we have a difficult task. We are here to celebrate and honor the career of Staff Sergeant James Snow as he makes the transition from active duty to the retired roles. But how can we pay tribute, just tribute, to this man and all he has accomplished? How can we recognize the broad impact his career has had on so many others? No, it is not an easy task. Whether working for years in his familiar settings among the Marines of 111 at Camp Pendleton, or the only slightly less familiar settings of Iraqi deserts and towns, or even afloat with the MEU, Staff Sergeant Snow brought to his job a reminder that right where control and order might appear to be most absent, right there, the forward controller is present in the midst, helping to guard and guide supporting fire. And in this, we see a little of your own quality, O God. We see a reminder that you have been present throughout his career, guarding and guiding. In recruiting duty and even these last years as a career planner, we see too that Staff Sergeant Snow's guiding hand extended to more than artillery fire, but even to our young Marines navigating their own careers. And so it is, Lord, that we turn our prayers to you today and ask your continued blessing upon James and his family as they leave the uniform and the trappings of military life behind and set off for Massachusetts and to business and to school. Be with Stacy, Nathaniel, Wyatt, and Jane, and honor their service too, even as they open this new chapter in the family's life together. Be with James's mother, Cheryl, and help her to feel the gratitude her years of support so dearly deserve. And Lord, may this moment serve to honor Staff Sergeant Snow's father, James, who in so many ways inspired him to join the Marines and become the man he is. Help us to feel his presence here with us as well, and know the pride he most surely feels for his son. Bless this ceremony, O Lord, and bless this fine Marine, we pray. Amen.
Person to be retired. Center. Motion.
Presidential Certificate of Appreciation. For service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Staff Sergeant James E. Snow, United States Marine Corps, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. The presidential pin is being presented to Staff Sergeant Snow. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Certificate of Retirement. United States Marine Corps, Staff Sergeant James E. Snow was transferred this date from the United States Marine Corps to the Fleet Marine Corps Reserve after 15 years of honorable and faithful active service. 1st of August, 2016, signed, Joseph F. Downford Jr., Commandant, of the Marine Corps. A letter from the Commander of the Marine Corps. Dear Staff Sergeant Snow, the Marine Corps has been your occupation and family for many years past, and I am certain the memories, interests, and the future of the Corps will remain with you forever. Many desire to obtain your accomplished goals, but few can compare to you. You have clearly demonstrated the exceptional leadership qualities and professional contributions we seek of our senior Marines. We are proud, as you must be, of your successful career. As a teacher to young Marines, as a source of wise counsel, and as an example of those soldierly virtues we so admire, you have made a mark on the Corps that will remain long after you have left our active ranks. There are many young Marines you have influenced who will carry on in the same fine traditions that has always characterized the United States Marine Corps. You have my best wishes for good health and continued success in the years ahead. Semper Fidelis, Joseph F. Downford Jr., General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. A letter from the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Dear Staff Sergeant Snow, on the occasion of your retirement, I would like to extend my congratulations and heartfelt thanks for your many years of dedicated service and selfless devotion to our country and Corps. You have made tremendous contributions and sacrifices throughout your Marine Corps career. As you prepare to enter this new chapter of your life, you can look back with immense pride and satisfaction on all you have accomplished. You have set an example of professionalism and leave a standard of excellence for all Marines who will carry on the legacy of our Corps. My wife Andrea joins me in wishing you continued success in the future. Semper Fidelis, signed, Ronald L. Green, Ancient Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. A flag was flown aboard the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center in honor of Staff Sergeant Snow. The certificate reads, "The flag of the United States of America. This is to certify that on 9th of May, 2016, the accompanying flag was flown over the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center, 29 Palms, California, on behalf of Staff Sergeant James E. Snow, in recognition of 15 years of dedicated and faithful service to the United States Marine Corps. Signed, J.F. Hart, Colonel, United States Marine Corps, Chief of Staff, Marine Ground Task Force Training Command, Marine Corps Ground Combat Center." Mrs. Stacy Snow is now being escorted to receive a letter of appreciation from the commanding officer for her devotion, support, and selfless sacrifice to her husband over the duration of his Marine Corps career. United States Marine Corps, Certificate of Appreciation to all who should see this President's greetings. This is to certify Stacy E. Snow has earned grateful appreciation for her unselfish, faithful, and devoted service in support of her husband's Marine Corps career. Her unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible her husband's lasting contribution to the Corps and this command. We fully realize that this support is not provided without hardship and sacrifice. Signed, Lee M. Rush, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Marine Corps, Commanding Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, the retiring officer, Captain Jacinto Rubio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out and taking the time out of your day to commemorate the 15 years of dedicated service that Staff Sergeant Snow has given to our Corps. I want to start off with the first interaction I really remember having with Staff Sergeant Snow. We found ourselves on duty on a Saturday, and that was the first real time that I remember having had a conversation with Staff Sergeant Snow. So what do you do on a Saturday duty? You get to know somebody because usually you expect it to be quiet, so you start having conversations. We talked about family, siblings, where we grew up, and the conversation just kept going. He mentioned that he had 2 nieces in the service, one in the Air Force, one in the Marine Corps. I happened to mention I had a little brother who was an active duty Marine as well, stationed out of Camp Pendleton. sudden he asks me, is your brother's girlfriend's last name Wiggins? And I just look at him. Wait a minute. I just stay silent. I just remain silent because I'm like, wait, what did I say that led Staff Sergeant Snow to pull this random last name out of nowhere? So I'm just stunned into silence, and in that time, Staff Sergeant pulls out his phone, a picture he must have found on Facebook, and sure enough, that's my little brother and his niece are dating. One thing that definitely showed me is, you know, when people say the Marine Corps is small, I didn't realize it meant that small. Like, him and I found ourselves stationed in 1st Tank Battalion, and the only relative he has in the Marine Corps and the only relative I have in the Marine Corps are somehow dating on the complete opposite coast of the United States of America. Aside from learning how small the Marine Corps really is, I also learned a few other things about Staff Sergeant Snow. I learned that he came into the Marine Corps as an artilleryman. So he did 10 years as an artilleryman, and then he decided to move into one of the most selfless MOSs that exist in the Marine Corps. The rest of his service was spent making sure that the best Marines were retained, that the correct Marines were sent to the correct places. Another thing that many of you here might not know is that Staff Sergeant Snow used to volunteer for Saturday duty because his weekdays were so busy taking care of the careers of others that he couldn't afford to be bogged down in a duty desk when he could have been doing effective things to take care of other Marines. Other things I learned was that Staff Sergeant Snow is a self-made businessman. Some of you might have had medals mounted by Snow Medals, or remember that on the back of his truck. He did shadow boxes for retirements. His current endeavor has him owning 2 semi-trucks, the beginning of an early trucking business that he will pursue beyond this. The other thing too, and I don't want to steal Staff Sergeant Snow's thunder when he talks about his family, but the other thing that I learned on the 2 Saturdays that Staff Sergeant Snow and I found ourselves on duty together was that he loved his family. His total devotion and love for his entire family was overly clear to me. And if Staff Sergeant Snow has left no doubt in my mind through the dedication and the entrepreneurship that he has shown in the entirety of the time that I've known him, that great things await all of you in your future chapter of the future chapter of your lives. Staff Sergeant Snow, during your time as a career planner, you made mission every year. Not only is that not an easy feat, but that is going to be your lasting legacy to the Marine Corps. Having said, we now have Marines that you helped send to the depot, who are now shaping the future Marines that will one day be leaders in this Marine Corps, either officer or enlisted. You send Marines to recruiting duty, and they're the ones who are going to be making sure that we bring the right people into the Marine Corps. We have Marines who are now serving in embassies overseas, making sure that we're safe and that those embassies have the protection that they need. Thank you very much for your selfless contributions to the Marine Corps. And I know I speak on behalf of the entire battalion when I say thank you for everything that you have done. We wish you and your family the absolute best in all of your future endeavors. Fair winds, following seas, and Semper Fidelis.
I don't know if I'm going to use the mic or not, but first off, I want to say thank you for everyone that showed up. Sir, wherever you went, thank you for the awesome invitation. Couldn't help but cry when you mentioned my dad. I promise I was going to make this short because I apologize for everyone having to come out after the battalion commander has secured everyone for the 96. Things happened, you know, weather. My mom got delayed in Chicago. Thunderstorms, I guess planes can't fly through thunderstorms now, so if I forget to fail, or if I fail to say thank you to some of you guys around here, I apologize. I spent the last couple of months trying to figure out something to write, come up with for a speech, but I just couldn't come up with words. You know, so much stuff going on in my life, you know, stress, other things, trying to get out, business, a few other things. So I just wrote notes. As if you look at my program, you obviously see I did 3 years on recruiting duty, so I'm going to impromptu it. Okay, so if those that spend time on recruiting duty, they know what an impromptu is. An impromptu speech, so I'm going to do that. So I want to thank God, obviously, for allowing me the opportunity to spend 3 combat tours, 2 in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan, and allowing me to be able to come back, you know, safe. You know, unfortunately, there was a lot of guys that went over did not come back. Battalion Commander, sir, thank you for everything you've done. Allowing me to be able to work the battalion on the retention side. Sir, Major Smith, sir, thank you for the hard time, the hard extra push you gave me to be able to make sure I stay focused. I appreciate that. My staff NCOs in the battalion, thank you for showing up. I know I see a lot of you guys here. I appreciate it, every single one of you guys. I think I've communicated with everybody in this battalion, whether you're staying in or whether you're getting out. I know there was something that I did to affect your career, and I hope I helped, and I did it in a manner that helped you out. And I appreciate you guys coming in. And I know there's times I wasn't in the office. It's because probably I was out at the ramp or I was somewhere else doing something else. But I was in the office quite a lot, actually. Janie, Robin, thank you for showing up. Let me tell you something about these two individuals. Every time I go to work, there's not a laugh going on in that side of the building. We're always messing around with each other, talking, cracking jokes. I had a good time. Robin was a good addition to that side of the building, and I appreciate you coming in and picking my spirits up. Just kidding. That's an inside joke between her and I. I'm not kidding. Fellow career planners, Gunny Gaden, Gunny Ison. Where are you at? I don't see him. Oh, there you are. Gunny Ison is actually one of my neighbors. So we see each other on a regular basis, but he's a base career planner. And Gunny Gaden's here from, where'd you come from again?
7 Marines.
What is it?
7 Marines.
7th Marines. So he came over and took over a 7th Marine Regiment. And, I haven't really got the opportunity to meet you a lot, or too much, but, we did share a few words, and I appreciate you showing up. And Gunny Ison, I appreciate you showing up as well, too. Gunny Alarcon and I, since I met him, I think we built a pretty tight relationship. And he's came over to my house quite a few times, actually. We both do woodworking. We've done quite a few projects in my garage, just him and I together. And it's kind of ironic that he retired back in November. Long story. Captain Pacindo was his retiring officer, and then he somehow got selected gunnery sergeant. I don't know how that happened, but I guess it's well deserved. So, but you better come over later too. So, but then he re-enlisted. Captain Pacindo was his re-enlisting officer. It's crazy. He retired and then got re-enlisted. So, great Marine, and now he gets to feel the realm of the career planning office. And I think he's getting a different understanding of how career planning is. It's a tough MOS. It's very busy. For those of you who don't think so, switch out with Gunny Alarcon. You'll see different. I think I got the crying out already. It's probably going to come back. I'll tell you a little story. I'm not going to make this any longer than I have to, but before I came into the Marine Corps, my life was going down the wrong path. I had no goal in life. I just got out of high school in '97 and just partied and did whatever I wanted to do. February 26, 2001. My dad passed away. It wasn't supposed to happen. He's 54 years old, and he passed away. It took for my dad to pass away for me to realize what I need to do something with myself. And that's why I joined the Marine Corps. I know my Marine Corps career has been up and down. I've had a really stellar time in the Marine Corps at artillery. Career planner, I did a good job. But this last couple of years, I've had some personal issues in my life that's kind of bringing me down a little bit. But it is what it is. I stayed out of trouble. So he passed away. And I want to thank him. I know he's up there somewhere. But I owe a lot to him. And I owe a lot to my mom. Because I moved out and lived on my own. And then I moved back in. with my mom after my dad passed away, so she wouldn't be alone. And I go and join the Marine Corps in May 2001. She's like, "What the hell are you doing? Are you crazy?" You know, and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I'll join the Marine Corps." The Marine Corps has done a lot for me. It really has. It's taken me, if you knew me before the Marine Corps to how I am now, big turnaround. My mom will tell you the same thing. The things that the Marine Corps gave me. I am going to miss the Marine Corps a lot. I'm going to miss the camaraderie. I'm going to miss all the friends that I've met in the Marine Corps, by far. And I'm not going to lose touch with a lot of guys, especially that guy right there. All the first sergeants Corps, see, you always come to my house or my office, and you always give me hell, you know. But, you know, I appreciate it. First Sergeant Petty, some of the emails that he sends me is hilarious. You know, I can't help but laugh. We have some great first sergeants in this battalion. We really do. And the first sergeants are the ones that help drive this battalion. I believe that solely, you know, by my heart. I know first sergeant Game. I don't see him here. I coach his son in baseball. His son Parker was on the team. Pretty good kid. First sergeant, still can't say your name right. Yeah, there you go. That's how you say it. She comes in the office quite often. You're a fireball, first sergeant. You really are. You're a great addition to the battalion. Absolutely. I'm getting off track here because I'm supposed to be talking about my family now. But I'm thinking of other people in my head. Again, I appreciate you guys coming out after the battalion's already secured. Sir, I'm really happy that you allowed that to happen. You know, thank you so much. My mom has experienced a lot of stress since I've been in. Well, not really a lot, just the beginning part. Never thought I was going to go to Iraq. She didn't know I was going to be with the infantry when I went out to Iraq. So every day she was probably stressed, thinking there was going to have something happen to me. But I was with 3-1, great battalion, if anyone ever goes to 3-1. Nathaniel, this kid, these three kids right here, they mean the world to me. They really do. Nathaniel's going to be amazing. He's going to be a professional baseball player one day. That kid is super good, aren't you? Plays first base, pitching, leadoff hitter, gets on base every time. Great player. Wyatt, Nathaniel, I love you. Thank you for being, you know, the big brother. Okay. Make sure you stay the big brother. Lead by example. Okay. Look at Wyatt. This little boy right here got a good heart. Plays soccer. Pretty good. It's like great at defense. Probably one of the best defensemen I've seen in soccer. All right, Wyatt? He's crying too. Wyatt, I love you. All right. Stay a big brother for your sister, okay? And then Janie, not that Janie, this Janie. Her name's Jane Marie Evelyn Snow. Got her middle name, one from both her grandmothers. 4 years old. She has got a mouth on her, let me tell you. Oh my goodness, don't you? She's the smartest 4-year-old I've ever met. You'll be surprised in some of the words that comes out of her mouth. She definitely doesn't get it from me. She gets it from her mom. She takes right after her mom. She's got a mouth like her mom too. I'm just kidding. All right. Stacy. Oh my God. It's been a long, almost 13 years that we've been married. And it's been a lot of rocky roads in our marriage. But this woman, phenomenal woman. Absolutely phenomenal. Just finished up schooling. Taking care of kids in college at the same time. I don't know how you do it. While I'm at work, gone, over the past years, 3 years on recruiting duty, the 3 to 4 deployments that you experience, and still taking care of the kids. I want to thank you for your hard dedication and the support and the job you did taking care and raising our children. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I love you. Well, for future plans, I was originally going to stay out here in California, but we decided to go back to Massachusetts. That's where Stacy's from. I'm from Michigan. So not really too thrilled about going back to the cold weather, but it is what it is. You know, we'll do it. I'm gonna do some schooling and build a business. You know, keep going with that. That's my plans. Plus the BAH in Boston's like $3,000, so that's not bad. That kind of helps. Yeah. I just saw Master Guns Love It back there. I do gotta say thank you for coming. Master Guns Love It. Actually, I'm backing off from family again, but I just saw you back there, Master Guns. Sergeant Major Priester has had this belt in his office for the past 3 years for a spades tournament, and I've been trying to get that belt for the longest. The last spades tournament we had, Master Guns Love It and I were fortunate enough to be great partners and get that belt. So I had it in my office. And actually, if you look in the pamphlet, there's a picture of me wearing the belt. So I actually put that in there for Sergeant Major to see. So kind of like a, you know, here's Sergeant Major. So, but now it's in Master Guns Love It's office. So I'm sure he's going to take care of it. So other than that, that's all I got. I appreciate everyone coming. If I forgot to say thanks, I apologize. Master Sergeant Sparza, you're listed on top of Sugar Cookie. That was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I got out there, I'm like, oh my God, I got to do a re-enlistment at 5 o'clock in the morning. But we got up there and did it. You know, actually, Captain Cindo was the re-enlisting officer. We got a big trend. Believe it or not, she's done a ton of re-enlistments. She has. And she's got the oath down like it's going out of style. So once again, thank you everyone for showing up. If you're ever in Massachusetts and you look me up, we'll grab a beer. Maybe we'll go to a Fenway, Boston Red Sox. I'm not a Red Sox fan, but I like going to Fenway. It's a fun park. So thank you everyone, and enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
Flowers and gifts are now being presented to the family of Staff Sergeant Snow for their dedication, patience, and faithful support during Staff Sergeant Snow's 15 years of service. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of Anchors Away in Marine 10. and gentlemen, please be seated.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I'm confident. I'm arrogant. I am proud. When I'm flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I'm recognized all over the world. I'm worshipped. I'm saluted. I'm respected. I'm revered. I'm loved. And I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Tarawa, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and the scores of places long forgotten by all except by those who were there with me. I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill on Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired. But my sailors and Marines cheered me, and I was proud. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th as cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised from the ashes of once proud buildings by brave firefighters. Heroes who risked their lives to save others, showing all that America, although bloody, will never be beaten. Those who would destroy me cannot win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country, and when it is done by those who I served with in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surely bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hour comes when I'm torn in strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. And I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, and when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother and the gravesite of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God. Long may I wave. for 15 years, this Marine has stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this Marine stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, this Marine stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this Marine stood the watch. And those years, when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this Marine stood the watch. Many times, he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times. But he still stood the watch. Stood the watch for 15 years. He stood the watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in safety each and every night, knowing that a Marine stood the watch. Today, we are here to say, Marine, your watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, guided, and led. Marine, you stand relieved. We have the watch.
Permission to go ashore.
Permission granted.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's retirement ceremony. Thank you for your attendance.